G'day guys, welcome back to the next part in the series. I think I went a little bit too long on the first part, so this is a continuation of the first part of the series in measuring and cutting and building the basic building. So if you've got any feedback in the comments below, let me know. Coming up shortly after that is adding the detail to the building, and after that we'll get on to painting it. In further episodes down the track, I'll start to talk about adding more significant detail, more advanced details, and texture to the buildings. So thanks very much for watching so far. Now I take my ruler and in the line that we drew in the middle, I take my X-Acto blade and I don't cut all the way through it. I just want to be gentle, just to cut the top piece of either the cardboard or the foam core. Once you've scored that bit at the top, you can very easily bend it. Now you could do that then, as I just did, or you could do it afterwards. Now I go through and I cut out my windows. So we'll go through and score these. Now, as I'm going through and making these cuts here, I'm not really too concerned if my cut is actually longer than the window. So I'll see if I can get the camera over here so you can see what I'm talking about. Now I'm not too concerned about my cuts going to be too long. You can see there's my line there, there's my line there, there's the line I'm going to cut. I'm not going to cut exactly that line. I don't need to be that accurate with this because afterwards we're going to cover this with some texture. So I just make a cut all the way through. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if my hands were in the way. I'll try again on this side. So my blade starts a little bit above that line. Then I push it through and I drag it through. And I finish, get out of the way hand, see if I can hold that there. Then I finish outside of the line. Why? Because on the back that will give me my nice cuts here. Whoops. That will give me a nice cut all the way through. Anyway, then we go through, I'll zoom that back out. Then I go through and that's a much better position for the camera. I should have had it there before. Then I go through and I make my cuts along this line. Now you'll find that if you're not using a sharp hobby knife for this, the blade will cut and drag. You'll feel it pulling the foam inside. And when you pop out these squares, the insides of them will be all jagged. Again, as I said before, it's not really a huge problem, but if you're working with foam core and you're building a building that needs to be precise, you want to have a sharp blade. Okay, so I've cut the windows out. Now I can just pop those out. Okay, keep these pieces, okay, because we'll use those later on also. So now that's what we do. We just go through and cut out all of the windows. Already made that cut. Whoops. Ah, the blade's starting to grab. Pop that out. Go through, do our other side. So yeah, just getting back onto the thanks again. It's really been great to see so many new subscribers come on board. As I said in one of the previous videos, that was thanks to Bill from Trainerholic, I'm sure. Hey, one thing you can do with this, as you're doing this, and you've done it a couple of times, you won't need to use the ruler. If you're using a sharp line and you've got your marks already lined out, you'll find that this stuff or cardboard is very easy to cut just freehand. When you get to this stage, it just makes it a lot easier without having to stuff around with the ruler. And just keeping in mind that if we're making a ruin, then nothing's going to be straight anyway. Okay, so we cut those out, pop those panels out. Oops, missed a cut. I'm just going to cut it there. And that's kind of what we end up with. Now when I fold that, I get a building. Now you'll see this little wedge here on the corner where I've made my fold. Don't worry about that at this stage because we're going to run a pylon up there out of balsa wood or some other sort of material to fill that gap and add ourselves a little bit of width here on the side. Okay, so that's where we are so far. Let's get this back all the way out here.